Hey there, folks. I'm with Sean from Think Media. We're going to talk about the 5 YouTube trends for 2023. Sean, you just did this video on your channel, so I'm asking you to cheat a little bit and give me the short list. So, what are the 5 things for 2023 in YouTube?
Yeah, Michael, thanks for having me back. Number one is go all in on vertical video.
Mm.
HubSpot said that short form video will see the most growth in 2023. It also has the highest ROI, return on investment, because it's the easiest to create. The constraint of having to create content in 60 seconds or less, the fact that the best tool to do vertical video is probably your phone that you already have. And Adobe revealed that short form video accounts for 80% of all mobile data traffic.
Wow.
Right? Pretty wild. That's what are people doing on their phones? They're watching short form
I guess.
video. And if you're, it doesn't mean that long form's going away or that deeper education, longer form audio podcasts, even something like daily financial news. I think what's important in our minds is just to think about the caliber of people and the difference in types of people that watch different content. We're not placating just to short attention spans. Short form video is snackable content to try to attract a wide amount of people that some would go deeper. I would, not to try to be self-referential, but I think that the people who watch daily financial news like myself are smart. I mean, they're smart, they're investor minded, so thinking about like long form, longer attention spans are going to be business minded, entrepreneurial, real estate investor. Anyways, so short form video though is a good way to pair that with your longer form strategy. The second big trend I see is it kind of is connected to number one, but it's master the 8-second mindset.
Ooh.
Master
Okay.
the 8-second mindset. So getting attention is more important than ever before. And Time Magazine actually saw that human attention spans dropped by 4 seconds recently in a study, and it's only 8 seconds.
We
What is
dropped by 33%. That's not good.
yeah. And what's really interesting about this is that this could apply even more as you shoot daily financial news, as people create content, as people think about the opening lines of an email, as people think about the way they lead out a social media post, as people do a presentation. We got to hook attention fast. There actually, it was revealed in one study that the 8-second rule came from actually a UI UX rule, meaning website design, user interface, and user experience. And that if websites lag, people jump off of the website. That if there's a hesitation, people just go, oh, forget it. And this was crazy. They looked out and saw that if Amazon's website lagged for 1 second, they could lose $1.6 billion.
Wow.
So
That's
it's a
crazy.
good illustration. I mean, it speaks to maybe the scale that they're at in terms of volume, but someone, oh, it's not loading, I'm going to buy it somewhere else. Or, oh, it's not loading, I'm busy. I get distracted, I got to do something else. And so that particular purchase doesn't go through. All that to say is we've been teaching, really trim the fluff, especially really take your video, the first 60 seconds of your video, super seriously. And I like to say, cut to the chase. This would be like a James Bond movie. It doesn't start at the story or at the long intro where, he's a silhouette and he shoots and blood comes down. It starts with a panning shot in from the helicopter. He's being shot at. He's in a Porsche. He's shooting back. What's happening? How did we get here? Ooh, shoots off a ramp. Car tumbles. He jumps out, jumps off a cliff. Now he's in a parachute. There's still a gunfight. Cut to the chase is a movie term that's like sequentially, this is not the first moment, because then what'll happen after this really intense opening, it'll say 48 hours earlier.
Yeah.
So now you're how did they get here? What was this situation? What was happening? So in terms of your content creation, this 8-second mindset, this is some practical application, is cut to the chase. I would even think if I was structuring some of your content, which again, I love it. I love you. You welcome us, daily financial news. Your dogs, comes in. These are different characters. And all of this is super endearing. But what I would simply do is move at times endearing stuff more into the content. And I would blast right into the content at the beginning, because it makes the replay value, like the beginning might be FTX Sam Bankman-Fried's sentenced. We're going to talk about that. Housing prices, shocking stat coming up, and it's kind of just right. And then it's like, but let's hit number one. And I know you're doing the 5 things. It's almost like you do all of number one, and then in between number one and number two, you're like, but hey, if you're just joining for the daily financial news, I'm Michael Zuber. Just a way of thinking about it. The way you structure your content is cut to the chase. And then it slows down and he's at the bar. I'll take a martini, shaken, not stirred. A little bit of backstory. It's a little bit slower, but you're already bought into the movie because you have that hook up front. Number 3, start a video podcast. I think this is a big trend that people can pay attention to get into the content creation game. There was a leaked document from Alphabet, the parent company of YouTube and Google, that revealed YouTube's plans for podcasting. They have they hired a podcast executive. They invested $500K into audio only podcasts to get them creating video. They got acquired like 20 NPR shows. They're thinking about the user interface, maybe ingesting RSS feeds, all this different stuff. And you can actually go to youtube.com/podcasts and see a whole podcast aggregation page on YouTube. See, you don't think of podcasts when you think of YouTube, but also the data reveals that YouTube is the biggest platform in terms of podcast consumption. More people listen to podcasts on YouTube than they do on Apple or Spotify. And this shouldn't really be a surprise because actually the biggest podcasters in the world, maybe it's just JRE Clips because he's on Spotify only, but those get an insane amount of views. But you do have like the Logan Pauls, the H3H3s, Valuetainment, Lewis Howes. They're all doing video podcasts. And so it's kind of building that studio. And then also you're getting the distribution though across Spotify and all these other places. And so YouTube is investing heavily in podcasts. But this is one of our favorite strategies because you also get a lot of leverage. If you create your video podcast, that's 20, 30, 40 minutes, then you can also get clips out of it. You could get shorts out of it. I got to hang out with Patrick Bet-David in Miami, tour his whole studio, talk to his team. And the way that they're publishing like 49 videos a week. You publish more than them. But they take the longer form content. They're very crafted, potentially edited or snipped, but like thumbnail, title, they go the long form podcast, a clip of the podcast that might be 6 to 7 minutes, a short, and then they distribute it across like their whole empire. They have multiple different shows. All that to say is simplifying it for maybe someone who's just getting into the game. Video podcasting could be a really intelligent way to get some great results. Number 4 would be embrace artificial intelligence. And from a YouTube standpoint, we're seeing now artificial intelligence can do graphic design. That could be your thumbnails. Artificial intelligence can write pretty good scripts. You may need to edit it a little bit, but that's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting. Artificial intelligence can do voiceovers really well that sound like humans and that are very interesting voices. Artificial intelligence can do video editing, and there's stock websites you can subscribe to. There can do auto-generated captions done at an incredibly high level of accuracy. Plus, the script was already written well, so it can tie into that. You can get music from a royalty-free site. Here's what I'm describing. If we've ever watched a video that maybe, communicates some information and there's B-roll the entire time and there's kind of text in the middle, why are we even necessary? Artificial intelligence can do everything. And so while I'm going to the extreme, I actually don't believe that it's going to fully take over like that. It's going to still require an intelligent human mind to organize these pieces and to edit out errors. And people are also going to crave, it's also going to create some polarization. I think there's going to be an extreme desire for human, authentic, raw content. But there's also what people do is they go to extremes. They don't want to embrace change. Or we're afraid of change. As we also get older, we go, oh man, even me. I started editing in 2003, video editing, and I probably stopped video editing around 4 years ago as Think began to grow. And I'm like completely outdated in terms of video editing now.
Wow.
And I've got some Gen Z video editors that are on my team, but I'm going to schedule a retreat this year. We'll come to Vegas just to kind of do a artificial intelligence. Let's work on our business, not in our business. in terms of software tools of are we even doing this smart? And what I mean is there would be ways, the way I would do it was I would just do it the old way, like brick by brick, nail by nail. Whereas there's now tools now, you're like, oh, wow, you could have just saved 45 minutes if you just click that button. You still need to like DJ this whole thing, but if you would have just done. So I think this is going to, for business owners, entrepreneurs, asking, is it going to replace your team? I don't think an AI would replace a current hire, but I do think if a current hire doesn't start using AI, they will probably need to be replaced with somebody who understands modern tools that is increasing productivity by 40, 50, 60%. It's just here. And if you're listening to this at this moment, you're still way ahead. I would just say in 2023, get educated. It's here for sure. Next up is, I would say, 5, join the SEO revival. Search engine optimization never left, but I think it's going to be a big trend in 2023. And here's something I got from, I believe, HubSpot around voice search. So businesses are responding by changing how they frame information to answer readers' questions based on intent. Creators are opting for more conversational question and answer formats. This way, when consumers use voice search, they get high quality, accurate responses more quickly. What does this mean? I know for me, after a work day, I will head downstairs, grab my Apple remote and start talking to my Apple remote with my smart TV, whether I'm going to watch something with my son, whether I want to research something, whether I want to look up a creator or a topic. And so voice search is interesting in terms of SEO. And then it's the fact that Google and YouTube are owned by the same company. Think Media got 3 million views in 2022 just from Google. Now, we are not embedding our videos on a website or a blog. I'm not from YouTube. We got 3 million views just because we upload videos on YouTube, and those videos are being discovered by Google searches. So search engine optimization, being thoughtful of your content, I think you could apply this to a lot of people that want to do local business or want to get discovered for a particular region or area, SEOing your website, SEOing your loan website, your local real estate, all kinds of different things. SEO it never left, but I would double down on it in 2023. And there's kind of some new rules to SEO, and just get educated. And YouTube, though, we'd call that video SEO, video search engine optimization. I see that as a big trend. So that's 5. And yeah, those are definitely some ones that I'm paying attention to.
That's awesome. Let's kind of change this up and add a few more things in here about content creators heading into a recession. Again, I'm a real estate channel, so we can talk about brokers, mortgage brokers, all of this. As we've shared, transactions are down 40%, which means commissions are down 40%. Good times never last. Bad times never last. We're in a bad time. I think YouTube is the answer for lots of these folks. They need to build, not only that little drip of money or income once you're monetized, but it is building that reputation, becoming the right answer in your area. I don't think there's enough people doing it, and I think this is the time to start. What do you think about that?
Yeah, what I love about YouTube, one of the other trends I have is that that everybody adopt the media company mindset. So even Adobe said, you are a media company. You're not just a brand, you're a media company and an influencer as well. So you're not just a small business, you're a media company and an influencer as well. You're not just a real estate investor, you're a media company and an influencer as well. And treat content creation as a separate wing of your business with its own revenue generating opportunities. So you are already a real estate mogul, you're doing your stuff. You've already got passive income. You're also already an author. You've got all this kind of stuff happening, but we just looked at your channel and tens of thousands of extra dollars are coming in because you committed to creating content. It's its own business. You also, one mindset there as you get more established is, if you think of it as its own business and you think of it as a startup, I would think about how can you aggressively reinvest those dollars into scaling it up, particularly with team and systems, hiring, software, delegating, buying your time back. So you either just have your time back, or so you could just do more of what you're doing and ultimately go further faster. Because yeah, like any business owner, we reinvest. And if you have income over here, or you were to start a new venture, you're not just like, oh, I'm starting a YouTube channel. You're like, I'm starting a media company. It's a small business media company. And yes, I think that with the skill set your listeners have, I think they get a little bit outside of the box. It doesn't have to just be the linear, you are an agent and you've maybe done some flips, and so you should make a channel about that. Maybe if you have a background as a contractor and you've done some flips and now you delegate it, but you have those skills as well, you doing DIY tutorial videos about how to do simple house stuff. And people think, oh, there's already content out there. The demand is greater than the supply. There is a voracious to learn. We have a kind of this coaching program. I was talking with the gentleman. He did a video on how to do wainscoting. And it was kind of like he found like something specific. And this, after going through some of our stuff, he has got a newer channel. He was getting 50 views. This video got 500. He 10x'd his views. And we're just going to keep compounding that because he was answering specific questions and teaching specific skills. So it's probably smartest to build a YouTube channel that aligns with your business objectives, meaning you get leads and clients if that's what you need for your current business. But there could be a whole nother kind of adjacency because you have a skill set, and it also could be way out there. I mean, this is the era of turning your passion into profit. Maybe again, you're fully in real estate, but you really geek out about NFTs and crypto. Not the best time for them, but nevertheless, if you're fascinated how to build a project, setting up blockchain, fascinated. We have another one of our students is doing mining rigs with their kids. They're doing mining rigs with their kids. So they're building out the mining rigs and the fans and the computers and the video cards. And so every single one of those things there's pockets of people that also want to do that. They're searching for specific products, but then there's a whole affiliate marketing opportunity to talk about 2 different video cards for a Bitcoin mining rig or something, and then have people click your links. And eventually you have $550 extra coming in a month of other people that are shopping and looking for that type of stuff. And you're getting the YouTube ad revenue. So answering your short statement in a long way. Yeah, I think that YouTube is the platform that pays the best. It's the number one video platform. I think that the only other contender right now in terms of rising is TikTok. There's a lot of smoke, a lot of controversy. It might get shut down maybe, but also it was the CMO of HubSpot that said YouTube subscribers are the most valuable subscribers on the internet. Our TikTok has been growing faster than anything I've ever seen, and it's led to the least business of anything I've ever seen. So it's kind of still cool, like I guess awareness, or if you're into vanity metrics. We grew to 250,000 followers. They're really fast, but even we track link in bio clicks. Link in bio, we have just a link tree, and that could lead to anything from a book to get in touch with us, right? Get on the phone with us. And on Instagram, with a lot fewer views, we might get 100 clicks in a week. And on TikTok, we'll get one with millions of views. And it just speaks to the mindset. You're maybe you're a consumption, entertainment mindset. The comments over there are also a dumpster fire. What's the point? The point is YouTube subscribers are the most valuable subscribers on the internet, because whether they're in a shopping mindset, whether they're in a research and wanting to actually get education mindset, I work with a lot of online education companies, Teachable, Kajabi, Thinkific. They say our most successful students are YouTube creators, because the quality of the people on YouTube are not just looking for mindless entertainment on TikTok. They actually want to learn hard skills. They want to find like substantive information. It is the kind of people that would watch a 45-minute training or a 90-minute video breaking something down on a whiteboard, because they're serious. And so, yes, I think that YouTube in 2023 would be a smart bet. And a smart diversification of a skill set to learn, a diversification of your revenue streams or your business streams. And then the final thing I'll say, Michael, which in all of the hype I'm spitting, I like to kind of bring it down. This is not a get rich quick thing.
Nope.
Just like you teach. This is a do the work, dirt under your fingernails. Don't feel like doing it. You've done all of your hustle in the day for your core job and core entrepreneur endeavor, but you've got to put some time into the side hustle. But it's also having the clear vision that the 6 months up front, the 12 months, even the 24 months, most small businesses are not profitable for 1, 2, 3 years, but you have a vision for 6 years from now, when passive income is coming your way, when your net worth and your network has expanded because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 rental properties. Same thing on YouTube. 6 years later, you're like, wow, I've got a brand. I'm looking at one rental at a time. You got this brand, trust, authority. We know each other because you started creating content. I know you're going to throw a party in Vegas because I was pulled in by your content somehow. Because of the searchability of YouTube, you can meet strangers, start expanding your world. You did that cool mastermind. Relationships are happening. People are sending you their stories of how their lives are changed. Yep. I want to encourage someone listening to this. If you feel a spark or a fire, like, jump in, start going after it, but also then, commit to the journey, commit to the fact that the dopamine is going to wear off quick. Seth Godin wrote a book called The Dip, and that happens in any endeavor like this. We start out, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, January 1, 2023, New Year's resolution. And about January 5th, you go, dang, this is kind of hard. This is kind of discouraging too, because I just put a bunch of hours into this content and I got 2 views. And that was because I sent a link to my mom and my wife. Exactly. And so, and so being willing to commit to the process and learn the skills. The good news is that a lot of people won't stick with it. So if you're listening to this and you jump in and you stick with it and you do the work, there's untold opportunity waiting for you.
Amen to all of that. Do me a favor, folks. If you are interested in this, you have that resolution, go get this book. I've read it twice, cover to cover. It is the place to be. YouTube Secrets. Sean, thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael.
Mm-hmm.